All right, welcome to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Workplace Reservation System user training. I'll be using a PowerPoint for a few slides and then we'll jump into the system live. First email that you're going to be receiving from the system is a very important email. We ask that you look for it in your focused as well as in your other inbox, and that will be the creation email. It will come from Commonwealth Workplace Reservation System. It will say that your account has been created. It'll give you a username. It'll also give you a temporary password. This temporary password is a password we suggest that you copy. That way there, you're going to be able to paste it into the login screen shortly. This username is always your email from your state, your mass.gov or your state email. And this is a link to the workplace reservation system to get you in so that you're able to log in. When you click on this link, you'll come to a screen that looks like this. You'll put in your email address and you'll paste that temporary password here. When you do that, you'll then be able to see that you're able to create a new password here. You'll look at the requirements for the new password and put in a password and confirm it. Now, as you're typing in the confirmation password, another email will be sent to you. Let's take a look at what that email will look like. It'll be an email from the Commonwealth Workplace Reservation System again. Please take a look in your focused as well as your inbox, and take your focus and your other inbox, I should say. Take a look at this code. This is a code that you'll jot down, so we suggest you write this down, because you'll take this code and you'll go back to your computer, and in this screen here, you'll enter in the code. Once you enter in the code, that'll reset your password to the new password that you put in. When you do that, you'll receive a new email that says your password has been successfully changed. If at any point throughout the system you do change your password, and about every 90 days you'll need to, but if you do change your password, you'll get this email. If that's not you that has changed your password, you can contact your agency admin. Now, that was the creation email. Once you're using the system today, I'm going to show you how to create reservations. And once you do create a reservation, we just want to give you a heads up that you'll get another email about that reservation when you create it. So on the date that you create the reservation, you'll get a summary email stating when that reservation is for and the details of that reservation. You'll also be able to add to that, to your calendar, this reservation by using the Add to Calendar button here as well. That's within that email. So the reservation summary email will come on the day that you actually create the reservation. Now, on the day that you are to come in for the reservation, you're going to get this email. This is called the check-in reminder email. This email will come from the Commonwealth Workplace. Again, it could go into your junk, it could go into your other. So please check your focused, your other, and your junk email for these. But notice it's going to be a reminder that you have a reservation for that day. So this check-in reminder email will come at 7 a.m. on the day of your reservation. We ask that you click here to check in for your reservation if you're going to be using that reservation, or you can click here to log into the system to cancel, which I'll be showing you how to do later. Now, if you missed this email, another one will come at noontime to continue to remind you, please check in or cancel. So if you're checking in, that means you're using the system. If you're canceling, that means you're not going to be using your reservation. But either way, we'd like to know that. And so this email is going to help you to either click to cancel or click to check in. Now, if you don't do anything with these to cancel or check in, a third email, same email will come at 3 p.m. to remind you. And if you don't cancel or check in by the end of the day, it'll be considered a missed reservation. So it's important to check in. I will show you that you'll be able to check in when you log in as well. So I'll show you that shortly. So there are 3 emails: the reservation, the creation email, when you first are creating your account and your password, the reservation summary email when you're creating reservations, and on the day of your reservation, the check-in reminder. If you do cancel a reservation, you'll also get an email that states that you've successfully canceled it, and as well as a link which allows you to create a new reservation from here as well. Now, before we jump into the system, I do want to talk about the terms that you'll hear when we create a reservation in our system. So your building will be 100 Hancock Street. You'll also have 3 different locations, so you'll have different floors within that 100 Hancock Street. You'll have the 5th floor, the 9th floor, and the 4th floor. Within those locations, so within those floors, you'll have different areas which are called neighborhoods. We've named these neighborhoods Hotel and Cubes for the 5th and the 9th floor, and EHSIT for the 4th floor. So you'll see these when we are going to create reservations within the system. You'll see these terms, the building. So up here, we just use this EOTS example. So McCormick and Mitzi are the 2 buildings for EOTS. Locations would be 8th floor, 4th floor, 2nd floor, and there are different neighborhoods within each floor. So now we're going to jump over to the login screen. So here's the login screen. When you use that creation email and you click on that link, it'll bring you here. Please note that I'm going to be using a test environment. So that test environment may not have exactly all the information that will be in your live environment, but it will be close. And every function that we go over will be exactly the same, so you'll be able to see the functionality and learn how to use our system. So your email and your password you will enter in. But before we talk about that, let's look at on this home page here, this login page, there's also a link here in case you forgot your password. You can click on Forgot Password. The screen will change. You'll be able to enter in your email. You'll be able to submit, and an email will be sent to you which will allow you to change your password. If you also have any trouble logging in or not able to get an email about your password, you could contact support. Notice the contact support link is here. When I click on contact support, you'll see that the screen changes. You'll see as I scroll down at the bottom, submit a request is here and ask a question. So if you'd like to submit a request or ask a question to our Stonewall Solution team, you're able to click. So I'll click right here on submit a request. And what you would do is you would put in your email address, you'd put a summary of the issue. You would also be able to drag and drop or attach any files or screenshots to help out with the situation, and then you would hit send. This would go to our Stonewall team and we would be able to get back to you. So right from the login page, you're going to be able to contact support. You're going to be able to check and tell the system you forgot your password. And then this external shared space reservation is for those that are not using or not having an account in our system, but do want to use a shared space that is managed by DCAM, and they would use this. So you can ignore that for now. So we're going to log in. And the first page that we're going to see is what we call the dashboard. But I do want you to notice Commonwealth Workplace Reservation System, Dashboard, Reservations, Manage My Info, and Contact Support are going to be the tabs across the top. Take a look. Today I've logged in as Linda Lane. I'm the user of the Workplace Reservation System, and I have set this up so that we're going to be using today 100 Hancock Street, and I'm going to be using the 5th floor as an example. And notice right here, it says upcoming reservations, past and missed reservations. So I've been using the system and I have some upcoming, past and missed reservations. Remember, if you do not check in or you do not cancel a reservation, it'll be considered a missed reservation. All right. If you want to see any of the past reservations or missed reservations or upcoming, you can click on these links and there'll be a list that shows. If you'd like to filter and see only by certain dates, buildings, or locations, neighborhoods as well, you'll be able to use these filterings over here on the right-hand side, and this data will change. Here are the statistics right now of any total reservations versus missed reservations for each of the months up to almost June here. You're also going to be able to select to see only 3 to 6 months here. So we'll do 3 months and you can see the total reservations versus missed. I'm going to scroll down here to where it says reservation calendar. I want you to notice that if you see any dates in red, those are any missed reservations that you've missed. Any upcoming reservations will be in blue, and any past reservations will be in green. Anything that's yellow, of course, is the current date. So notice in blue on the 31st, I'm going to click on that so you can see the details of the reservation that's coming up. So tomorrow I have a reservation on that 16th floor, and notice that reservation information here. Now today I have a reservation for today at 100 Hancock, 5th floor, and I haven't checked in yet. So notice, remember those 3 emails that I would get at 7 a.m., at noon, and at 3 to remind me that I have a reservation for the day? I can check in at any time. I can log in here, and in this dashboard, I can check in here as well. So I'll click on check in now that I've logged into the system. So this is your dashboard. It gives you an overview of your reservations, and it allows you to take a look at any upcoming, past, and missed reservations. Now, when you want to create a reservation, you're going to come up to this tab called Reservations and click on New Reservation. When you choose New Reservation, you're going to have a choice of creating a workspace reservation or a shared space reservation. And to help you understand what it means, if I bring my mouse up here to this eye, and so when you're in here, you'll be able to go to this information button and notice a workspace reservation is if you wish to create a reservation within your agency space for an office, a cube, etc. A shared space reservation is a DCAM managed shared space. So that would be in the McCormick building on the 21st floor, as well as the plaza, and they have conference rooms that are shared spaces. So you're going to come to this screen, and if you're going to create a workspace for your agency, this is where we'll start, and this is where we'll click on workspace. Notice the building and the location. So these may be populated, but right now I'm going to show you that if I click on select, I'm going to choose 100 Hancock. I'm going to come over here to the location, and since there are different floors, I'm going to click and be able to choose a floor. I'll choose 5th floor. What that does is populates the calendar here in order to schedule a reservation. I have the opportunity to schedule more than one reservation at a time if I wish, using this calendar, or enter in dates using this link, enter dates manually with this month, date, and year format. I've decided to use the calendar, and I do want you to notice when I use this arrow here, you're going to be able to see the different months and the dates that are available. So I'm going to take a look here, and I've decided that I'd like to create a reservation on the 15th as well as the 22nd. So all I have to do is click, and let's say I also want the 29th, I can click again. Now, if I scroll down, you'll see here June 15th, 22nd, and 29th. So whatever you click on this calendar, you'll be able to then choose the times and neighborhoods and spaces that you would like to reserve. If you decide that you did not want the 29th, you could come back up to the calendar and re-click on it, and that would take away the 29th here and just leave the 15th and the 22nd, which I'll leave here. Now, before I continue on and doing the start time and the end time, I'd like to come back up here where you see space type. When I click on space type, this may be available to you, and in my test environment, it is available. So I wanted to show you that maybe I'd like a cubicle, And then if I come to the here, which includes, here are some of the attributes that I could choose. And again, your list may be different when you look at your live choices, but let's say I want a dual monitor and I would like a teleconference phone. And so those are my preferences for the space as well as the attributes in this space. And as I continue, the system will look for cubicles with these attributes. Right now, we'll use the X to remove them as well. All right, so now I know I would like Thursday the 15th and Thursday the 22nd. I'll start with Thursday the 15th and select the time. When I click in my test system, I've made 8 to 5 the day, and I can choose any time in between. Please note, once I put in the time, I have select a neighborhood. So I'd like to show you two things here. One is our location diagram, and this diagram can be made a little bit larger and it can be moved around. It can be made smaller as well. But I do want you to notice that hotel offices and hotel cubes are the names of the neighborhoods that are here on the 5th floor. Notice when I come back up here, if I click on select neighborhood, I will see hotel cubes here. And if I was on the 9th floor, I believe I would see my hotel offices. But again, these are going to be available to you by either clicking or coming up here and making a choice. So again, if I make this choice here, or if I click here, the screen is going to change and it's going to show me the spaces that are available in that neighborhood that I chose. So again, I'm using this example here so that you can see what it may look like. And just note over here on the left-hand side, if you see any pattern, like you see here, that means that someone has reserved that space for not maybe a full day, but a partial day. And so you can always take your mouse and hover over and see who reserved it, what the time frame is that they reserved it. If any of these spaces were the color red, then that would mean that there was a reservation for a full day. If any of them are green, they are available to choose. If any of them are gray, it means that they would be unavailable to choose. So let's say I click on this one right here. Notice the space is numbered 5180, and it is now put into this list at the top that goes along with June 15th. So again, I could click the down arrow and choose a space from this list, or I could scroll down and take a look at the spaces that were part of this location diagram. So here's that location diagram that we clicked in and found a space. The space will turn blue when you choose it, and the number will be here. Now, if I prefer to have a different time, a different space, neighborhood, I can click here for Thursday, June 2nd, and go through each one of these once again. But let's go back to June 15th. If I prefer to have the same neighborhood and space for Thursday, June 22nd, let's see if it's available by clicking Apply Time to All Days. Apply neighborhood to all days. That means I've chosen whatever other days I've chosen. Apply neighborhood and then apply space. If it is available, you'll see this green circle with a check mark. That's the green circle with the check mark appeared here for Thursday, June 15th. All of this was available. And if I click on June 22nd, I'll see the same attributes here, and they are available as well. So I can easily apply the same time, neighborhood, and space to the days that I have chosen. Once I've decided on those times and dates and space, I'll come down to the bottom and click Continue. So once you click Continue, the screen will bring you to this Schedule New Reservation, Reservation Details Summary screen. Notice please here, you have 5 minutes, which is a timer here, to click Continue to confirm. And Continue allows you to confirm these. Now, while you are reading this information and making a decision to confirm, these two times and dates are on hold for you. So it gives you 5 minutes to read any location information that may be here as well. So we'll take a look at the location information, any protocols, any information. And we'll take a look at the times and the building and location once again to make sure that that is correct. And we'll come down to the bottom, and if it's not correct, we'll click back and try again. If we'd like to continue with this reservation that's on hold, we click continue at the bottom, and notice at the top, the reservation is confirmed. Please provide a reason now for the reservation. So this is an optional screen. We're able to provide a reason for coming in to that particular space and that particular time. Notice there are quite a few choices here. You can click and make a choice. If the choices are not what you want, you can click on other and type in a reason here. So this is optional, you can leave it, or again, for the agency admin, it's great for the manager to see what the reason for the reservation is. And then you'd come down to the bottom and click save. So the reservation is already confirmed. An email has been sent out with the reservation summary of the details of your reservation. And now you're giving a reason for the reservation and you click save. So that is how you create a reservation, a new reservation for a workspace. Now you do have the choice to create a reservation for the shared space, which is the DCAM shared space. So let's take a look at that quickly and see how that is done. When I click on shared space, I do notice that it's populated with McCormick building. And let's take a look at those areas. So on the 21st floor, there's room 1, 2, and 3. And the plaza level, there is the cafe conference room. So you'll make a choice and the screen will then show you the request form. The request form will start with the date and time. You click on the calendar, you can choose a date. Okay. So I'm going to choose the 27th. And the time is set at 8, and you can use the clock and make a different time choice. The end time could be a different day. It could also be a different time. So there could be many days in this meeting or just one. And of course, a different time. And it can be a full day or a half day or however many hours you need. And so I'm going to make this 9 to 12. Now, how many participants will be in this meeting? I'm going to put 10. And then what kind of a function will it be? Well, before I continue, I really should look right here where it says view schedule. Before I fill out the whole form, let's take a look and make sure that on 6/27 from 9 to 12, it is available. So when I click on view schedule, it'll show me that date and it'll give me, if it's empty, it means it's available, or it'll give me any details of anyone else who has created a reservation. So there'll be just the time slot and that it has been reserved. So I'm all set. I can continue with this particular 10-person meeting. Notice it says function type. Is it a board meeting, staff meeting, training, hearing, or other? So I'll say that it's a staff meeting. And then setup, how would you like the room set up? Classroom, conference, theater, U-shaped? Well, if you're not sure, you can click underneath it on View Configurations and see the configurations of the rooms and what the details of the room configurations are. And this will give you a help of what configuration you would like to choose. I chose U-shaped. And then if there's any equipment that is required, you can certainly choose from audiovisual, microphones, podium, and you could choose more than one, of course. So if I come up here and I choose more than one, I certainly can. Or if there's no requirement or equipment required, I can choose none. If the event is catered, I'm going to put in yes. And I'm going to put in a number of tables that might be needed for the caterer. So the shared space admin who is going to look at this reservation knows how the room should be set up and how many tables extra needed for the catering. Any additional comments can be placed here and then continue. Now, when you continue, this is a reservation summary that's here on the screen. It's for the shared space, as we talked about, and all we need to do is continue. You will get an email, of course, with the reservation information based on your shared space. So notice it says the reservation request has been successfully submitted and your email is on the way with the details of your reservation. So this is a shared space. It's a DCAM conference area shared space. And when you went to create a reservation, new reservation from the tab at the top, you're able to choose workspace or shared space. Now, there may be times where you would like to take a look at your reservations. Remember, you can take a look at your reservations from your dashboard so you can see any upcoming reservations, or you can go to Reservations Manage. When you go to Manage Reservations, you're going to see all the reservations that you have created, and some of these, of course, have been from other trainings, but I do want you to notice these two right here. These two, Linda Lane for 615 and 622, for 100 Hancock, 5th floor, and the two spaces are the same. Remember, I wanted them to be the same. And notice I can click View here. So I'm able to click View and see the details of the reservation. Now, remember we had some local information that we were able to read within those 5 minutes, and maybe you needed to review that. You can click here and go to View Location Information. So the local information based on the location of your reservation. Here is some information that you might want to take a look at. So you're able to view your workspace reservation. And so we went to Reservation, we went to Manage, and we found our reservation. Now, there are going to be times where you might want to filter by building or location or date, as well as by clicking the status and only seeing, let's say, an active reservation, which means when I click on search, it'll show me just today's reservation. Notice if I'm done with that reservation and I've already checked in, that's great. Or I could cancel the reservation here as well. So I could view or cancel the reservation, and that's considered an active reservation for today. If I want to see only upcoming reservations, notice that's in my list as well, and I'll search and see that I have 3 upcoming reservations, and I'm going to be able to view, as we saw, as well as cancel. Now, if you do want to cancel more than one at a time, you would select over here on the left-hand side, the reservation, and then you would choose this Cancel Selected. This allows you to cancel bulk reservations, so more than one reservation at a time. So you're looking at your status, you're finding your reservations, you're able to view or cancel any active or upcoming reservations. If you take a look at past reservations, they're only viewable. Canceled reservations and search, again viewable, and missed reservations and search, again just viewable. So you can take a look at your reservations, and these are workspace reservations. So when you click on Manage Reservations, Workspace is the default. But please note, you also have a Shared Space tab here. When I click on it, I'll be able to view any shared space reservations that I made. I'll be able to view them, cancel them as well. So these are individually canceled if needed, and the cancel button is over here on the right-hand side, or you can view the details of your shared space reservation. And there's a back button that brings you back. Now, I do want you to notice that submitted is listed here, because when you do submit to the reservation system, the shared agency, so shared space agency admin, will be looking at these and they will be accepting. Sometimes they have to make a change. And so any changes made to your reservation or any accepted or canceled reservations from the shared space admin, you'll receive an email with that information. But right now we can look at our reservations, our shared space, and our workspace reservations. Please make a mental note though. In the dashboard, these upcoming reservations past reservations, missed reservations, are only for workspace reservations. The calendar will show me only workspace reservations, and so will my statistics. But if I do have a workspace reservation, it will be displayed here as well, but there's no check-in necessary. But again, the dashboard is only displaying workspace reservation, not shared space reservations. You'll be able to see if you have a shared space reservation, but no need to check in if it is a reservation for today. So, reservations, new and managed. That's what we just went over, and we're ready to move on to manage my info. When I click on manage my info, I'm able to reset my password right here at the bottom, or I'm able to click edit and make some changes. Please note any of the fields that are grayed out, only the agency admin can change those. Any fields that are still white and you're able to click in are editable, and you're able to make those changes. And then you're able to click on save here at the bottom. Right above where it says manage my info, you'll see a bell with notifications. And if we take a look, you'll be able to see the recent changes that we made. For example, we made a shared space reservation. We might have canceled a reservation. We might have created new reservations. And then we'll be able to see a list here and then click see all to see all of the notifications on the reservations that we've made. And then finally, we're come over here to contact support. When we click on contact support, we took a look at that. We saw that when we first were logging in, we were able to come down and we were able to submit a request or incident, and that would allow us to fill in that form. And we're also able to see any patch releases, which means any new updates to the system. And then if I click here and type in guide, I'm going to be able to see a quick start guide or a complete training guide. So let's take a look at this quick start guide. Anytime I've logged into the system, I can go into contact support, either from the login screen or within the system, and see a guide which will give me helpful hints and everything that I just went over, the accessing the system within your new account creation email, changing your password, creating a reservation. Notice a workspace reservation, all the details of that, checking into a reservation, canceling a single or multiple reservation, again, resetting your password from the system, and contacting support. So this is a quick guide. It's a high-level guide that you can easily access while you're working in the system and get your questions answered either by submitting a ticket or quickly looking at the guide. You can come up to the top and click back on Workplace Reservation System. And now you're still back here to the Workplace Reservation System. And I'm just going to click back and remind you that when you go to Contact Support, you're able to type in guide. And there'll be some PDF guides, which are the complete training guides that you might want to look at as well. Let's click on complete training guides. You'll see one for the admins. And as I scroll down, you'll see the user complete training guide. When you click on this, PDF will be downloaded and you'll be able to save this wherever you want and be able to access it anytime, whether you're in the system or out, because it's a PDF that you've saved and it's a complete training guide. So you can access this through contact support, whether you're in the system or whether you're just logging in through the login page. Contact support is right here. Remember, when you do log in, you're going to get the dashboard, creating and managing reservations, managing your information, and your contact support. So at this time, I'm going to stop the recording and turn the mics back on, and so that you're able to ask any questions, and I'll take a look in the chat as well.